Hello everyone, it's the Pacey Chaser again. Welcome to another video. In this one we're going to look at something a little bit different. We're going to look at trying to repair and restore the paintwork on a model. The model in question is this. It's EFE AEC Renown. It was a complete bus when I bought it. I've taken it apart. If you want to see how I did that, there is a feature, another video on my channel about taking apart an EFE model. Specifically this one. As you can see, I haven't done anything to this at the moment, but the process of dismantling was exactly the same. Just take the rivets out of the bottom and it comes apart, so I've done that. The reason it needs repairing and restoring, when I bought it, it was bought for the display case, but it did say on the description that it had what the seller called paint rash, which basically is a defect that occurs very occasionally on model buses of all makes. Very occasionally one will get just a reaction between the paint and the actual model where the paint starts to bubble. You can see a little bit, if I just hold it under the light on the front there, just next to the blind, you can see it's kind of bobbled a little bit. I've left that bit on because it's only a very small area and I didn't really want to risk taking the destination blind off, because I'm not going to do a full repaint on this one. You don't have to take the bus apart. Obviously, if you're going to just restore the paintwork, you can leave it together. I like to paint the interior, so I've taken it to pieces. As you can see, I've already started on the interior. It was moulded in this blue colour. It's not finished yet, but I've painted the floor grey and the staircase treads as well. You can just about see there. You can't really tell, but I have actually put some darker blue on the seats. I'm going to put a representation of the maquette on the seats, which I will show you in a future video. I've left the seat backs in the original moulded blue colour because that's about right for how they actually were. But yeah, the maquette, the seats are edged in blue leather, so that's why I've painted them. The maquette's going to go across the middle of the seat, and just the edges of the blue paint will show, so it'll look like the leather edging on the real thing. But that's why I've taken the bus apart anyway, because I wanted to paint the interior. There is still some more work to do. The seat back grab rails need to be silver, as do the sort of box areas here and parts of the entranceway, so that's still to do on that one. So the bus itself, the exterior of it, I've just got some normal household sandpaper. I've rubbed it across the affected areas. As you can see, it was behind the rear wheel arch on the near side. The back was alright. The off side, you've got the same again, bit behind the rear wheel arch. There was a bit there, look, just near the front. The upper part of the model was worse affected. The offside, the entire offside advert panel there. Little tiny bit on the near side, and more or less the whole roof as well. So what I've done, I've rubbed the damaged paintwork off with a bit of sandpaper, given the bus a wash, just put some warm water and some shower gel or some washing up liquid into a basin, give it a wash, give it a rinse in some clean warm water, and I've just left it to dry by itself. So what I'm going to look at now is sort of trying to restore the paintwork. Obviously you can just strip and completely repaint the bus, but I wanted to keep it as East Yorkshire. However, whilst I've got it in this condition, I am going to take the opportunity to change the livery. This bus is in the traditional East Yorkshire colours, rather lovely dark blue with the primrose yellow band. In 1969, East Yorkshire became part of the National Bus Company, as did a lot of other bus companies in England and Wales. For the first few years, just carried on as normal. They carried on painting the buses in this livery. In 1972, the National Bus Company decided they wanted to look a bit more corporate. So they began to insist people, the constituent companies, painted the buses in a more uniform style. They wanted them to be red, green or blue, but there were various shades at that time in use. East Yorkshire kept the blue, and what they did, this band here was repainted in white. The band up here, the Primrose band, was got rid of, so that area became blue. The wheels of the bus, which are in its box, I've put them in there for safekeeping with the windows. They were painted grey, light grey colour, so we'll be doing that. The fleet numbers, which on this one are the traditional gold, they were changed to a little, very much less fancy silver, so we'll be doing that as well. And the fleet names were replaced with the National Bus Company standard ones. I'll just show you them in the packet. The white block lettering with the National Bus Company logo in white. At that time it was white on the background colour of the bus. Later on in the 70s they put it on the white background and made it red and blue, made it a bit more colourful. But for the era we're doing, the early 70s, then it was just white onto the background. So the blue paint that East Yorkshire used was the original East Yorkshire blue. They just continued to use it. Some sources will tell you they painted them black and white. They didn't. The reason that came about, that old wives' tale if you like, was that the colours looked different according to what they're paired with, the colour that they're paired with. So when you had this nice warm primrose, it made the blue look a little bit lighter perhaps than it actually was. When you put the white with it, it makes it look darker, as you can probably see from the white roof band there. And because it looked darker, it looked almost black in certain lights. So people thought it was black. It wasn't. It was just because it had been paired with the white. Incidentally as well, the white roof band wasn't part of the National Bus Company image, but East Yorkshire managed to keep it. I don't think anybody noticed, so they actually kept the white roof band. They should have got rid of that. Where that originated, you may be familiar with the, I hate to use the word iconic because it's overused, but possibly, yeah, iconic Beverley Bar roof profile. I'll just show you this on this kit-built bus. You can see it's got a rather gothic roof profile there. The reason for that, I'll show you a picture on the front of a bus, front of a book, should I say. This structure, the North Bar in Beverley, a medieval gateway, that was on the main road towards Bridlington and York, and in order that buses could fit through it, you can see the shape of it there, they had to have a special roof shape. That was bypassed in the early 70s, so they stopped having to do it. But as strange as it seems now, because it's really famous and well known as an East Yorkshire unique feature, but they were quite embarrassed about the roof shape, so in order to try and disguise it, they painted the area around the base of the roof white to try and just disguise the unusual shape of it, and that kept on later buses. This model, not 100% accurate. In order to fit through the bar, these buses had the upper deck windows sloped in more than usual. This obviously is a standard EFE casting which hasn't got that, but it's you know, close enough. So yeah, while I've got the model and I'm repairing the paintwork, I'm going to put it into the National Bus Company style blue livery. I'll just show you a picture in the same book of what I'm talking about. This is it. Obviously it's black and white, but the see the blue colour there, the white band, the upper band has gone. So that's what we're going to do, that livery, just while I've got the bus on the workbench. I'm also going to change the number of it. This one is 777 CKH 777C. The reason I'm going to change it, as I say, I bought this for the display case, not realising exactly how bad the condition of it was. So I hope to get another one for the display case in this livery at some point. Obviously that will be 777. So I haven't got two the same. I'm going to change this one. I think I'm going to make it 778, which will just make the registration number easy to change. Just need to blank out the 7, the last 7 there, and put an 8 in instead. As I say, I'm going to replace the fleet numbers anyway, so I can just renumber it as I'm doing that. I might leave the destination blind. We'll just take that as it comes. I may not. So the traditional East Yorkshire transfers, most of the buses that received the National Bus Company livery didn't have those. They had the ones I've shown you, the standard block lettering. A lot of buses that received the National Bus version of the livery were just patch painted, so some did actually retain this fleet name, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the National Bus standard ones on. Usually the way to remove the printed transfers on these is get one of these, a cotton bud, put it in some clean thinners, just get a bit of thinners on the end of it and rub it across. Now, because these are gold, they're rather hard wearing, a lot more so than other colours. So I've been scrubbing at this offside fleet now for about 5 minutes, and I've decided to quit while I'm ahead before I take the blue paint off as well. As I'm going to patch paint, I'm just going to paint over these rather than try and remove them, because as you can see, the upshot of the 5 minutes is just that I've removed part of the underlining and a little tiny bit of the lettering. So we're just going to leave that. I'm just going to paint over them, paint over the fleet number as well, because I'm going to replace that. So yeah, that's the plan. So the bits of paint work where there's still blue visible, they should need about 2 coats. But you'll see in some places I've gone down to the bare metal. That will need 3, so that I'm not messing about doing a different number of coats of blue. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch these bare metal bits in with some grey paint to act as undercoat. You can use either matte or satin grey paint. I'm going to use satin 128 just because I've got satin. So we're going to do that now. Just touch those in. And then in the second part of this video, there should be only short videos, the other maybe a couple of bits, but I'm just going to do the patching of the blue and change the identity of it. So I'll crack on now. Just give the grey paint a stir. Just take the top off it. Much easier with 2 hands, but I've got the phone in the other one. So what we do, just give the paint a stir with the other end of the brush. So as I say, I'm just going to touch in the bits that are down to bare metal. So like these roof ribs here, just touch across there. So there we go, I've done all the bits on there. I've done some of the sides as well where the bare metal was showing through. So what I'm going to do as well with the grey, just so I don't need as many coats of blue paint, where I'm changing the colour or blanking out the transfers, I'm going to paint those as well. So just paint over the transfers to save them showing through the blue. There we go, we don't need any great finesse with it, it's only like an undercoat. There's a bit more paint on there we go. And I'm also going to paint out that top band whilst I've got the grey paint out. So I'm just going to go over that, and again that'll just mean that it won't hopefully take as many coats of the blue. So I'm just going to leave you for a second while I finish that off. And so there you go, we've blanked out the top primrose yellow band there. We've covered over the bare bits of metal and we've painted the transfers out. So I'm going to leave that to dry now. Obviously if you were just restoring the model in the original livery, you wouldn't need to paint all this out. You just need to touch over the bare metal that was showing through, and then you could restore the rest of it as normal. But as we're changing the livery slightly, I've done these modifications as well. So in the next part we're going to look at restoring the blue colour. What we're going to do, as you know, I use Humbrol paints, or as you will know if you've watched any of the other videos. Humbrol number 15 is not quite the right match for East Yorkshire blue. If you're doing a model from scratch, you can't really tell the difference. If you look at this kit-built bus here, you wouldn't know it was in the wrong shade of blue unless you stood it next to this one. You can see it's quite a bit lighter. What we're going to do, we're looking at doing 2 coats of blue. So for the first coat, we're just going to use a standard Humbrol over the bits that need painting blue again. And then on the second coat, we're going to try and colour match it. We're going to mix it up with some black to darken it, to try and colour match it to the actual body colour. But I will show you that in the next part. I might do another part after that, just showing putting the transfers on and things like that. But yeah, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Again, do feel free to like and subscribe. Check out the other videos. As I said, there is one there about taking an EFE model apart, as I've done with this one. But yeah, so keep an eye out for the future bits. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, thanks, bye.